Welcoming Tex to the hall is his longtime colleague Phil Jackson from the class of 2007. Tex is being accompanied by his son Chris, who'll speak on his father's behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, Tex Winter.
Well, he said, go ahead. Actually, my name is Chris, by the way. I'm speaking for him. And actually, the film summed it all up pretty good, except that they left out a few details. I'll try to fill them in. He actually started his career at Marquette when he was 25 years old as a head coach. I believe 25, maybe 24. He was the youngest head coach ever appointed in Division I. And I think that record may still hold. Now, I haven't really checked that out, but I did think Brad Stevens at Duke had beaten it, but I checked it out, and he was actually 30 when he was appointed or so, and even though he looks 16, but his success parallels that of Stevens a little bit, and he kind of, if you saw the pictures, he sort of reminds you of Brad Stevens a little bit with that kind of baby face, good looks, and that confident demeanor of his. It's kind of uncanny watching Stevens and the success he's had. And they're saying, man, and believe me, what he has achieved at Butler is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, people don't know how difficult that is. He hasn't won a championship. Does that mean he doesn't get in here? I don't know. I'm not nominating Brad Stevens. I don't even know him, but. But you know what I mean, faced with such odds. Well, he helped build the program at Marquette. He won a Catholic League championship. I don't even know what that is, and he's not Catholic. There's a story that he was walking through the campus at Marquette one day, and a priest stopped and said, "Will you be joining us for Mass?" And Tex said, "No, I've already eaten." It's not fair, Chris. I mean, I'm looking at nuns. I thought that would be easy, and now it sounds like heresy. So, anyway, he returned to Kansas State. He started winning national championships. He started winning conference championships and producing, national championship caliber teams. Got into the tournament twice. Never won it. He took the eventual winners, to the wire, but it just didn't happen. And the eventual winner was UCLA in one case, and I don't remember, it was before my time in the other case. Was it Cincinnati? Or I don't know. Never mind. But anyway, at the time, Kansas State really dominated the conference. I mean, sort of like Kansas does now. I mean, the KU probably had better talent all around, but they couldn't consistently beat Kansas State. So it was sort of like it is now, but maybe switched around a little bit with Kansas State, the more dominant team. KU obviously had much success too. But he went to the University of Washington in the Pac-8 because he felt that he wanted to play against the best players, and at that time the Pac-8 was probably the best conference with Oregon and Oregon State and USC and Stanford and Cal. I mean, there may be there was also UCLA, but he had, what he told me was the best college team he ever had there for a while, for kind of like 3 amazing months. But what happened at that time was their 2 best players fractured their fibula in the same game and didn't play the rest of the season. It's kind of even John Wooden couldn't believe it. I saw an article in the paper is that, like, how can this happen? It's like, how can that team just go down like that? But he tried to console the Huskies by saying that with Tex Winter as coach, they're still to be feared. But, it wasn't really to happen. And he didn't really know it, but those legs breaking were kind of like a, broken mirror. They kind of signaled about 11 years bad luck or something. And he went through a period with the Houston Rockets, which, is a story that needs to be told, but I won't tell it here because this is a celebration and we sort of dwell on success. But I will say that, losing and mediocrity even is part of coaching, and it's part of the journey. You learn from it, you twiddle with things, you get through the barriers. Some coaches really haven't experienced that much of that, but there are plenty of them that have. And this, basketball is really not all about winning. You tend to lose perspective in a place like this. You should remember that.
Let's get out of here.
Tex wants to get out of here, but I want to say one thing. I want to thank my family for being here. There's a Kansas State contingent here, and I want to thank Tex's good friend Phil. You see Phil there. He's stepping down again, and he feels he's kind of. He said he feels he's kind of losing touch, and so it's another last dance, another last tango, or something. And you think when Dad was Phil's age, he started a whole new 20-year career. So. So Tex would probably say to Phil and everyone out there that there's really no rest in this world. If you have something to offer, offer it. If you have something to give it. And it's not that Tex never really believed he belonged in here. He just really didn't believe in sitting on his backside. That's about all there is to it. And he kept working at it. He partnered with Phil. They ran the triangle. It was a beautiful thing. And I guess I'll go a little longer. Well, it's tough to sum up a 64-year career in 3 minutes. I mean, he wasn't really a member of the Eastern Seaboard basketball establishment, you might call it. He knew everyone, and they were all his friends, but as my daughter would say, he didn't hang with that posse, And he didn't know Red Auerbach. I've lived in Boston for 20 years. I mean, he knew him, but not well. I've lived in Boston for 20 years, and I've worked there and grown to appreciate the culture, even though I'm a Westerner. But I think that one of the things that Dad told me was that in this life, the way to sanity, to be sane, you need to be able to do two things. You need to be able to work, you need to be able to love. I think Red Auerbach would appreciate that. And that statement is a sort of statement of genius in my view, but it didn't come from text, it came from Sigmund Freud. Yeah, wrap it up.
Let's go.
It's embarrassing. But anyway, I have patience. I'm going through my pages here.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. There's just too much, folks. There's too much. Thank you very much. Dad is proud. And I'm wrapping it up.